Hi, Sarah here with a layout process video for you today. This is for the Crafty Ribbons design team and we are doing a collaboration with Fiskars. Fiskars kindly sent us some goodies to use as well. So I got some non-stick scissors as well as a hole punch, which punches out teeny tiny little flowers. There is a competition you can enter where you can win Crafty Ribbons. I think it's £25 worth of goodies and also a bundle by Fiskars of different tools, and I will leave the links below to both those groups. You have to just like the group and comment on the competition thread so to be in with a chance of winning those things. So I will leave details below for that. So for my layout today I decided to use some Mind the Scrap goodies. These are from the November kit, and I think the mixed media kit was from February, and I wanted to use these because there was these lovely butterflies in the papers for the November kit, so I decided to fussy cut them. I am the worst fussy cutter in the world and I did an okay job with them, I think. The scissors obviously were helpful because they are little fine detail scissors as well. I inked around the edge of my butterflies so that no white was showing because they are going on a black background, so I didn't want there to be any white edges showing from where the paper had been trimmed, because obviously the core of the paper is white. So next up I have got my photo. It's of my little boy in the summer when his hair was so long. I loved it long, it was so cute. And it's just him shaking his head around, dancing around the garden. I thought it worked really well with the flurry of butterflies because it looks like he's turned around and they're all flying off into the air. I also used some of these awesome textured papers. This one has actually got a thick wood grain on it, and I think it actually feels like wood, actual proper wood. So what I did was I just trimmed that down, I gave it a nice rough edge, ruffled up all down the sides as well with my scissors, just so that the whole thing is nice and textured. And then I go around it first of all with the black soot distress ink, which I did the butterflies with, and I also blend it a little bit up into the edges, and then there was still a little bit of white showing, so I've taken this Jane Davenport mermaid marker in a brown and I'm just dabbing it around the edge, and it absorbs into the edges of the paper, and that just got rid of any teeny tiny little bits of white that were still peeking through. Next up I'm just using some colourful papers to add to my background so that it matches in nicely with the rainbow flurry of butterflies up the side. So I'm using a bit of a peachy orange colour and some green. I also use some of that purpley blue as well, just so it all ties in nicely together. Also the blue helps bring out the dungarees my little boy's wearing there as well. So I glue down my photo on the wooden piece. I wish I'd shown a little more of that wooden paper because it is really nice. And then I'm just ruffling up the edges of the other two papers. I'm leaving these ones white. I don't mind the background on these being white. It's going to help the paper cluster pop off the page more. I also want it on an angle. I don't want it straight on, so I do have it angled up towards the butterflies. Excuse me. So next up I've just added some foam behind my photo to help that lift that up off the page so that it's not flat when the butterflies are going to have their wings up. So I wanted it all to kind of be quite 3D. And now I'm adding in my ribbons. I've got a lovely one that has lots of different coloured stones, which just worked really well with the colours that I've used from the papers. And I use that red line tape. It's super strong, and if you're not sewer like me, then this is a perfectly good way to get ribbons stuck down on your projects. I also use some of that lace. It's got a kind of lattice look to it, which reminded me of those lattice things that you have flowers go up. Obviously I'm not a gardener either, And then I also use this lovely grass ribbon at the bottom too. I will link these ribbons where you can find them in the Crafty Ribbons shop below as well. So now I'm just using some multi matte medium or 3D, oh no, sorry, it's 3D gloss gel I'm using here. It secures things down really well. I'm just using a tiny paintbrush, and I just added a little bit to the centre of the butterflies and glue them down. And now I'm using the stamp from the February kit, I think, as well, from Minor Scrap. I'm just going to Versamarking kit, sprinkle on some rose gold embossing powder, and then just trim it out. And I also do that little heart shaped speech bubble. I thought that was really cute, and I thought it would help incorporate the title into the cluster so it didn't look like it was just on its own. I think I do add a couple of rose gold elements elsewhere as well in some floral pieces later on, so it all ties in together. I was going to leave that as just a square, but a rectangle, but I decided to cut in all around all the edges of the words as well. Just trimmed this floral piece in half because it was quite large, but I really wanted to use it because it did have a little bit of rose gold on it. I'm also using some leaves because I think that really ties in nicely with the butterflies. A couple of the butterflies are those the same shade. And again, I'm using this 3D gloss gel just to paint the back of these and slide them in place. This does take a while to dry, but once it's dry, it's not going anywhere. It's a really good adhesive, but it gives you plenty of wiggle room whilst you're deciding where things are going. I also add it to the back of my little title there as well, and to that tiny little speech bubble as well. Now I've added extra foam to the back of my paper cluster so that it pops up a little more, and added some of that gloss gel to that. I'm weighing it down with the pot there so that that will secure in place there. I've grabbed a couple of stickers just to add a little bit more to my clusters, and now I'm just going to add some ink spray. This is the Lindy's Stamp Gang, and it's got a lovely pearlescent finish. It's two-toned, so on black you just see the sparkle to it, on white you see the two different colours. So the pink one just comes out more of a white colour really, but it's just got a pearlescent finish to it. And now I'm using the hole punch, and I just punch out a load of tiny little flowers from some glitter paper, and I stick them all in place with some glue. I've already laid the glue down, and now I'm just sticking the little flowers in place. And then I do add some Nuvo drops. I use the crystal drops first, or the clear drops. One or the other of them don't show up very well, so I do go back in and I add some of the opaque coloured ones as well, because these ones dry clear, which I do off camera. I also add some pink flowers in the little punched out flowers as well, which you'll see in the close-ups at the end. So thanks for joining me today. Please do go and check out the competition. You can win some awesome goodies over at Fiskars Facebook group, as well as Crafty Ribbons. And do like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber and you'd like to see more from me. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.